I don't want to sound mad. I feel marvelous. D-Block. It's that time. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford agree to terms for November 19th fight. Well, according to ESPN. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. SLC. That's all y'all got to do to keep it locked. The latest and greatest in all of boxing. Subscribe, like, and comment. SLC. Now, ESPN is reporting, it says sources, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford have agreed to terms for a potential November 19th mega fight. And this is an article from boxing reporter Mike Coppinger. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford have agreed to all material terms for a fight. Undisputed welterweight championship, an event targeted November 19th in Las Vegas. Multiple sources tell ESPN. However, the deal has not been signed as the lawyers clean up the legal language in their agreements. Per sources, Crawford, ESPN's number one pound for pound boxer, top welterweight. It says he got the financial terms, yada, yada, yada. There's nothing that we don't really know. The package includes bilateral rematch clause. Okay, so that's pertinent. A rematch clause. The loser will have the right to exercise. So whether Errol loses or Terence Crawford loses, there's options for a rematch clause per the source. Said if a rematch clause is triggered, the winner will earn the majority of revenue for the return bout. I think that's fair. Whoever won the fight, they will end up getting the lion's share of the money. So that's good. Said the 147-pound summit meeting, Spence holds 3 of the belts. Crawford has the WBO, will be presented as a co-promotion between Spence's Man Down Promotions and Crawford's TBC Promotions on PBC pay-per-view. High-powered attorney Jeffrey Spitz is representing Heyman and Spence side as contracts are being reviewed. And it says, they got a quote from somebody. I want Terence Crawford. That's the fight. Oh, this is Spence. That's the fight I want. ESPN's number 2 welterweight, number 3 pound for pound boxer said in April. That's the fight everybody wants to see. Terence, I'm coming for that belt. The 32-year-old native of DeSoto returned from surgery, beat Ugas. Now everybody's saying Errol's back and 100% ready. So now is the perfect time for the fight, said Terence Crawford. So now we're kind of just getting into some of what we already knew. So I like it. I love it. I think this is amazing. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, they've been on a collision course. The fans have had to remain calm and remain very, very, very patient while this is going on. Now, my thoughts, I got to give a whole lot of praise, really to both fighters, but more so to Errol Spence Jr. But wait, there's more. I can explain. The reason why I'm selecting Errol Spence Jr. as the recipient of additional praise is because if you look at it from the beginning, Errol Spence has done what he has said he set out to do and sought out to do. He says, like years ago, I know because I was there. It was in New York. I want to say Danny Garcia and Sean Porter fight. Errol was in attendance. Errol Spence got on the podium, and Errol Spence literally told you, and he probably said it before this, but that's one of the marquee moments in Ego Brain that I remember where this was discussed, right? And Errol Spence, he said, Terence Crawford, that's a great fight. And I'm just paraphrasing. But he basically said, that's a great fight with Terence Crawford. I would love to have the fight with Terence Crawford. We can make the fight. But first, let me clean up my side of the street. And different people and factions in boxing felt a particular type of way about that. Me, not so much, because I understand the business of boxing. And what Errol Spence said all along held a lot of weight and made internal sense, at least to me, from the get-go. Because if you are aligned with the same people, then those fights become exponentially easier to make. it's no mystery to me that Spence and free agent Crawford, we've been waiting months and months, heard the same rumor up until today where they've agreed. They still don't have signed contracts according to this ESPN document and report, right? So we've been waiting, and this still is not even the official announcement, because you don't see it on Errol Spence's page, you don't see it on Terence Crawford's page, and it's not on the PBC page. I checked before recording this video. So we've waited, and I believe a lot of that had to do with Terence Crawford, whatever he wanted, his demands, and the laboring back and forth, going back and forth. Recently, people have said that Fox and Showtime are in a bidding war because they both want to secure this fight, which could be true. But usually, from my experience in boxing, usually the first thing that people have to agree, the biggest obstacle, the biggest hurdle, if you will, in making a fight is the money. People want to know how much they're getting paid, especially for a super fight. And, I don't knock nobody for wanting to know and wanting something that they value and believe to be fair. But at the end of the day, I do think a lot of this had something to do with Terence Crawford and whatever he was demanding that stagnated. And going back to the point of clean up my side of the street, no other Errol Spence fight, from Kell Brook on to this Crawford fight, has publicly taken this long. And a lot of those guys, like Mikey Garcia, had a working relationship with Al Heyman, and PBC had done several fights, been on Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton 2 undercard, and fought for a world title, yada, 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 right? So making Errol Spence Mikey Garcia was not that challenging or dynamic. Same thing with Sean Porter. Sean Porter, before he retired, he was with Al Heyman, PBC, same people. Ugas, coming off the best win of his career, and I thought he beat Sean Porter. But coming off the actual win where they gave it to him was the Manny Pacquiao, I want to sub to my right? The Manny Pacquiao fight. And that fight was very easy to make between Ugas and Errol Spence, as was it to fill Ugas when Errol Spence pulled out with the eye injury because of the fight where Errol Spence couldn't continue with Errol Spence's eye in that condition. So the point I'm making is, it's no mystery to me that the hardest fight to have made was the fight where Crawford, basically an outsider out of all those dudes, he was the recent outsider, and he had one belt. So the fight took a while and is still not officially confirmed. Now, the other thing that I have to give props to, or going back to that with Errol Spence, is he's done everything aside from cleaning up the sides of the street, which is what Errol Spence said. Another thing that Errol Spence has done is Errol Spence has literally collected all the belts, did the heavy lifting, got 3 belts versus Terence Crawford's 1. And he told you right after his last fight, the last PBC guy that had a belt, Ugas, he said, hey, Terence Crawford, I'm going to take yours too. And now, it looks like they agreed to terms. So I really think Errol Spence wasn't a holdup. Let me know what you guys think. I got more content coming soon on this subject matter, as it is a big fight. I can't wait. Let me know your early predictions, early thoughts. We're not out the woods yet. We still got to wait for an official announcement. Let me know how I did in this video. Subscribe. I'm the best in the business, but you already knew that. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you, whether you need a gaming, travel, Gym or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work.